It's high school madness here on the Ford Game of the Week on Your View. It's the OSSAA Girls Class 5A State Basketball Tournament. Hi everybody, Mike Ziegenhorn alongside my buddy Steve Marshall. And today we got a showdown between Rogers and Lawton. On paper, it looks like it could be a blowout.
Yeah, 23-3 for Tulsa Rogers. Eisenhower comes in with just a record of 14-13. Obviously, they're playing their best basketball of the season right now, which is when it's most important. And as we all know, you wipe the slates clean and get ready for the final weekend of basketball.
Yeah, one and done, so you better win or you'll be going home. Here's your starters for Lawton Eisenhower. Haley Horton, Kellyanna Sanders, Naomi Smith, and Michaela Hall, and they're joined by our preview player.
Yeah, Ginger Reese. Ginger Reese comes in. She averages 15 points a game. Great competitor, according to coach. She hates to lose. She's already been committed to Arkansas, so she's going to be the one to watch for Lawton Eisenhower.
And for Rogers, we're going to highlight two players who are joined by Quiana Love, Notori Graham, and Devin Wright.
Yeah, Lakara Jordan, she's the leading scorer in the team. She knocks down 14 a game. And rebound-wise, it's Nakia Cullum who leads the way with 10 rebounds per contest.
All right, the tip-off is coming up next. Stay tuned here on Your View. The Ford Game of the Week, Lawton and Rogers.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month, the place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series, and the brand with the most J.D. Power, IQS, and Appeal awards. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 42 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner. Get 0 for 72 months with 0 down and 0 payments for 90 days, plus $2,500 cash back on F-150. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
It's about cars, about why we love them, the roads we drive, and the places we go. Driven, from the classics to new tech and toys to more than a couple laps around the track. Driven tells the stories from the road with a few car buying tips and some advice to keep your car on the road and off the rack. Sundays at 5:30 on Your View. Driven, the drive, the adventure.
For many kids, just showing up to school is a challenge. Staying through graduation is even harder. So at communities and schools, we do just what our name says. Our staff brings a community of resources to meet each student's needs right in their school, doing whatever it takes to keep kids focused, so they see what we see, a bright future. Join in at communitiesandschools.org.
Coming up this week on Oklahoma Sports Scene, we'll have the head football coach of the University of Tulsa, Philip Montgomery, and the voice of the Golden Hurricane, Bruce Howard. Jay Smith, the former University of Oklahoma football player who has a very interesting story and will tell us about that in his book. And then, of course, we have Henry Primo because it's Mardi Gras week. Right. And then for the coach and the student athlete of the month and a quick excerpt of how the state championships are going to go in basketball, Barry Lewis from the Tulsa World. Join us on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Look forward to having you with us.
Stripes and bright stars Now let's meet the starters. First for the Lady Eagles of Eisenhower. At guard, a 5'4" senior, number 11, Hallie Horton. At forward, a 5'8" freshman, number 15, Kelviana Sanders. At guard, a 5'9" sophomore, number 22, Naomi Smith. At forward, a 6'2" sophomore, number 32, Michaela Hall. And at forward, a 6' senior, number 35, Ginger Reese. Later Eagles are coached by Daniel Wall with assistant coaches Craig Bindell and James Sevels. Their record is 14-13. They rank number 8 in the state. Now let's meet the starters for the Lady Ropers and Will Rogers. At guard, a 5'6" sophomore, number 1, Jordan Payne. At guard, a 5'5" junior, number 3, LaToria Graham. At guard, a 5'7" senior, number 11, LaCara Jordan. At forward, a 5'10" junior, number 24, Devin Wright. And at guard, a 5'8" junior, number 31, Nakia Cullum. Head coach for Lady Ropers is Colin Atkinson. Assistant coaches Kathy Bailey and Holly Birmingham. Their record is 23-3, and they're ranked number 3 in the state. Your officials for this game, Kevin Lynch, Rick Smith, and Mitchell Owen.
Welcome back to the Mabee Center on the campus of Oral Roberts University. Mike Ziegenhorn, Steve Marshall, and the rest of our YearView crew with you on this Thursday afternoon. Don't you love the first week in March?
You know, the weather got a lot better, didn't it?
Yes. Well, other than the weather, we got great basketball.
Absolutely.
And it's that time of year. Then all the college tournaments are starting up as well, and we'll have all kinds of madness the next week. But it's high school time right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Front and center stage where it belongs. Great sport. These kids have battled throughout practices in November, games and tournament action in December and January, going through all the postseason rounds through the month of February. And here we are, 8 teams left in the 5A girls state tournament.
Rogers in white, Lawton in their road dark uniforms, and the Lady Ropers corral the opening tip. And we are underway at ORU. First pass tipped away, bounced around and out of bounds. Off Rogers, and a turnover for the Ropers to start things off. Gotta love the environment here at ORU, don't you, Steve? It's just great for all these kids to get a chance to play on a college basketball team.
Well, and you wonder, too, how the kids are going to respond. You know, for Tulsa Rogers, of course, playing in the Tulsa metro area. And you would say, well, Lawton probably, you know, playing a lot of conference games. But they played very much a 6A schedule this year. That could probably be taken into account with their 14-13 record. They played a lot of the top teams in Class 6A, too.
Ginger Reese with the miss, but sophomore Michaela Hall gets the offensive rebound and is fouled. She puts it in. The foul was on number 11, LaCara Jordan, for Rogers. Lawton on the board first. Hall hits them both, and it's a 2-0 lead. And another turnover, 2 possessions, 2 turnovers for the Lady Ropers. 23-3 on the year, ranked number 3 in the state. The second time in a quarter century that they've had 20 wins in a season. How about that? Long 3 ball from outside. Haley Horton is good. And it's quickly 5-0.
Tulsa Rogers still looking to get their first shot off in the game. As you mentioned, 2 turnovers earlier, so you would have to say that early on it looks as though Eisenhower has adapted quite well.
Carlin Adkisson is the Rogers head coach in his 4th season as the head coach. Lady Ropers just moving the ball around. And that baseline jumper is going to be a foul. That Tori Graham is fouled. She'll have a chance to shoot 2.
So at the free throw line for Lady Ropers is LaCara Jordan.
She misses the first. And missed them both. And a fight for the rebound, jump ball, and it's going to go to Lawton. Kind of start that the Ropers wanted, Steve. 2 turnovers, a couple of missed free throws. Now full court pressure. They have found themselves better off when they run that full court pressure. And now a foul down low. Second of the game against the Ropers.
Good hustle there by Haley Horton. She got the shot off, was blocked, was able to fight, battle, and get it back, even though she's listed at just 5'3".
Reese throws it outside. Horton, too strong. Rebound to the Ropers. Here they come. Jordan Payne. Long 3 ball, nothing but the bottom of the net for Natori Graham.
Makes it a 5-3 contest. And now it looks like Tulsa Rogers is going to get the turnover and keep the basketball.
Their full court pressure. Putting it on Lawton. Jordan Payne running the offense.
Drop back into a 2-1-2 zone defensive look. Ropers hit the 3 in their last possession. Eisenhower, you'd have to say, has a height advantage, although it's not by a lot.
Another 3, that one too strong from Graham. Here they come the other way. Horton dumps it off to the right side to Naomi Smith. Back to Reese, foul line jumper, in and out. Another offensive rebound, and that one is good. Michaela Hall.
7-2, Lady Eagles on top.
5:15 to go, first quarter of action. 4-point lead for Lawton. Fair ball and an offensive rebound. Down low for the Ropers, Devin Wright. 7-5 game now. 3 minutes gone, first quarter. Again, pressure from the Ropers. Horton stepping into it. And another offensive rebound for Lawton. And Reese gets called with the travel. This Lawton team starts 2 seniors, 2 sophomores, and 1 freshman. And that freshman is Kelviana Sanders. Meanwhile, for Rogers, no freshman even on the roster. And they are an older team with 4 sophomores, 4 juniors, and 4 seniors. Team that kind of had to turn it on, Steve, near the end of the season. Even though 23-3, they fell behind late in the season in some games and had to use that full court pressure as Graham hits another 3 to get back in it and win some games, and they have their first lead. 4:23 to go in the first quarter. It's 8-7 now. Rogers. The driving bucket good by Naomi Smith. Lawton takes the lead back by 1. Renee Love out top, working it against that Lawton zone. A drive and a foul. Makia Cullum got hacked. She will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Talked to the coach for Eisenhower before the contest, Daniel Wall, and he said their keys to victory were going to have to be to value every position that they have. They definitely have to out-rebound them. They feel like they have the size advantage there, and therefore they want to see a lot of one-and-done situations. He said he set the turnover number at 15 to his girls and said, if we can stay below that, we've got a chance and we can win this ball game.
Cullum ties it up and then gives the Ropers the lead back. 3 lead changes already here in the first 5 minutes of this one. Lawton jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Long 3 from the outside off the mark. And Olivia Chonin. The Ropers have it back. Here comes Reese on the rebound. Trying to take it the length of the court, loses it as she goes behind her back, and timeout for Rogers. Each team still trying to get acclimated. They hadn't played since last weekend, and you're on a big court in a huge environment. One and done type deal, and you can tell nerves a little bit taking place,
yeah,
right?
We've seen a couple of air balls. We've seen some really turnovers that both teams would not be very happy with. So shaky beginning for both ball clubs, but they're starting to get the feel of it. Should be good the rest of the way.
Well, we got more games coming up for you here at the Mabee Center at 3:30 this afternoon. Coweta and El Reno will play in our second quarterfinal matchup. Then we'll be back here for another doubleheader tonight, East Central and Piedmont, followed by Ardmore and Pryor. That's at 8:30. Catch all the 5A girls quarterfinal games on the 4 game of the week right here on Your View, Channel 3. Great to be back here at the Mabee Center. The last couple of years we had 6A and 5A boys. They rotate them. This year 5A girls, next year will bounce back to 6A girls. And Lawton comes out in some pressure. Rogers breaks it, and they get an easy bucket on the other end. Devin Wright for 2.
Biggest lead so far at 12-9 for the Lady Ropers.
3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Statman Don King hands me this. Lawton Eisenhower, 8 rebounds so far, 4 of those on the offensive end. Rogers has just 3, but they're making their shots too. Right now they've got the 3-point advantage.
Driving Graham. And we're going to have a foul. And it's going to be against Ginger Reese, that'll be her first. She's the one we highlighted in the open. Averages 15 a game. 6 foot. Right up there with Michaela Hall as one of the tallest players on this Lawton team. Hall is 6'1".
Yeah, Reese has not scored yet, despite averaging those 15 points a contest.
Both free throws are good.
Quick little 6-0 run now for Tulsa Rogers to go up by 5.
Haley Horton has it. There it is, 3 ball for Maurice. Her first points. 2:12 to go first quarter. It's a 14-12 lead for the Rogers Ropers.
Very important for Lawton Eisenhower for her to knock down that outside shot. Otherwise the defense just collapses and close the rest of the lanes. Here's a turnover.
Renee Love broke down the defense and then back the other way. Horton's shot is rejected. Scramble for the loose ball. A great hustling defense by Nakia Cullen to come back and block the shot. Check it out, Steve.
Now they're going to call a foul on Jordan. As you see, taking it to the hoop. Great block from behind. Ball was loose there on the end line and then tried to stave it back in. And so doing, ended up causing a foul called against Tulsa Rogers.
Reese tries a little floater. Off the defensive board to Nakia Cullen. 14-12 our score. Rogers in front, minute and a half to go first quarter. That shot is long. It's tougher to shoot in these big arenas if you haven't done it all season long. Naomi Smith out top to Reese. Horton fake. Lost it and double dribble. So a turnover by Lawton. Each team with 3 fouls, and it's a 14-12 game. Rogers up with 1:12 to go in the first.
Horton going to take a seat, as you see there. Her replacement is Anjali Clayton, 5'7" junior guard, checking in for Lawton Eisenhower.
Quinn Love works it up court for the Ropers.
Final minute here in this first quarter of play.
Three ball, right side, in and out. Offensive rebound for Rogers. Great inside move by Notori Graham. She's got 8 to lead the way, and it's a 4-point lead for the Ropers. Final 30 seconds. Reese, step back, foul line jumper. Smith, the rebound, got it to go.
Good effort.
Ball, rather.
Good effort on the offensive boards to keep fighting, keep the ball alive, and get it up off the rim and have it bounce around and fall in good.
3 seconds to go in the quarter. Long three ball is short from Quinn Love, and that's the end of one. The Rogers Ropers lead at 16-14. It's the Ford game of the week, OSSA 5A girls basketball on your view.
Okay, it's Ford Truck Month, and here's how it works. You take Ford F-150, work in best-in-class towing and payload, sweeten up the offer, and boom. You save a stack of cash on the brand with the most J.D. Power, IQS, and Appeal awards. And it's America's best-selling truck 42 years straight. It's buy now time, people. Get 0 for 72 months with 0 down and 0 payments for 90 days, plus $2,500 cash back on F-150. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
It's about cars, about why we love them, the roads we drive, and the places we go. Driven, from the classics to new tech and toys to more than a couple laps around the track. Driven tells the stories from the road with a few car buying tips and some advice to keep your car on the road and off the rack. Sundays at 5:30 on Your View. Driven, the drive, the adventure.
We're back at the magnificent Mabee Center on the campus of Oral Roberts University. It's our Ford game of the week. Mike Ziegenhorn, Steve Marshall with you on this Thursday afternoon. The OSSA 5A state basketball playoffs. This is the first of 4 games being played here today.
Get your popcorn, Mike.
I've got it, baby. It's loaded up. Quick work inside out of the break. Devin Wright's got 6 as she puts that 2 on the board.
Good pass work, and then they found her open in the middle. Used her length, her athleticism, got it up, got the easy 2.
Coming up next after this one, El Reno and Coweta. Outside jumper, in and out from Naomi Smith. Quinn Love running the point for head coach Carlin Adkisson. Another deep 3. Those are NBA threes.
Yeah, those are long ones.
Quinn Love was too strong. Here comes Horton. And we're going to have a charge as she picks up the foul. That's her first.
Good job by Tulsa Rogers on defense, holding the ground. Horton has already shown here early in her previous possessions that she's not afraid to take it to the hole and very aggressive. Even though listed at just 5'3" to get inside. Defender stands her ground and draws the foul. She's in that high-low post against the zone defenses. Works pretty well for him here early on. 23-3, as you mentioned. Their only losses came to Oologah at the Oologah tournament. They lost to Edmond North and to Grove at the at a tournament. So they ended up beating number 6 Coweta to qualify for the state championship.
Started the season 11-0 before that first loss, Will Rogers. Reese's shot too strong off the back iron. Horton twisting her way inside. 18-14 the score. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Reese again. Horton, short. Rebound comes to the Ropers. Deanna Floyd. Renee Love works it left side over to Nakia Collins. Back out front they go to Notori Graham. Up in the middle of the lane, and nice jumper, good ball movement too that time by the Ropers as Nakia Collins scores again. She's got 4. And it's a 6-point lead for Rogers. 5.5 to go, second quarter. And they found something against that Lawton zone, haven't they?
They really have. They've done a good job on getting it inside and sharing the ball between the bigs in there. And they've been able to knock it down. And, you know, since the game started with Eisenhower on that 5-0 lead, it's a 20-9 run right now that Tulsa Rogers is enjoying, thus leading here by 6.
Check out the latest episode of Driven Sunday evening at 5:30. This week's Driven, Bead Mania. It's Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and Tom Gregory hitches a ride in one of the city's famous carnival parades. Plus, from Newport, Rhode Island to Lincoln, Nebraska, we get inside the looks at 2 of the nation's best car museums. It's on Your View Extra, Channel 93. That's Sunday at 5:30. Mardi Gras time. This is the best time of year to be down in New Orleans.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of beads thrown this time of year.
I picture you as a big bead collector. You know, one thing for sure that Lawton Eisenhower needs to do, they need to figure out a way to keep, you know, Michaela Hall involved on the offense. She has 6 points already, but to me, she needs to touch the ball almost every time they bring it down the floor.
Reese's shot off again. And Reese has really struggled. She's only hit 1 bucket here in the first half. 1 out of 7 in the game. That's your leading scorer. If they want to keep pace in this game, she's going to have to get some shots to go, Steve.
Yeah, Nadia Smith averages 11, so does Michaela Hall. So between those 3, that's where most of your scoring comes from.
Again, just great patience and nice ball movement, an easy bucket for Devin Wright. She's got 8. And that's the largest lead at 8 for Rogers.
Well, you need your answer bucket if you're Lawton Eisenhower.
And that one is off. Olivia Chung.
The Eagles don't seem to be very patient on offense right now. Getting the first opportunity, hoisting up the shot, not to their success here. And
inside, offensive rebound, and put back is good again.
I think it was right.
Right again, yeah. She is right on. She's got 10, and that's what they lead by, 10. 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Ginger Reese hits the 3. Her second make. All right. I'm not being patient. That took them 10 seconds to come down and fire up a shot and get back in it.
I always say the good shooters, the guys who score a lot of points, they might miss a lot, but they sure do make a lot. When you shoot a lot, it usually happens.
Left side 3, too long. And remember, we're on a college court, so the high school 3, as you see right there, is the white line. The darker black line is what they have for college.
That Trey Young line is right out there in their midcourt.
Yeah. Hall shot in and out. Reese comes to get the rebound, and she scores. She needed that 3 to get some energy going.
Just like that, a 10-point lead's back down to 5.
3 minutes to go in the second quarter. This is 5A OSSAA State Girls Basketball Playoffs. First of 4 games for you here on the Ford Game of the Week.
5A boys, 6A girls and boys also going on. And then down in Oklahoma City, you've got 2, 3, and 4A boys and girls down at the fairgrounds. The Big House, they call it, in Oklahoma City.
Rogers going to take the air out of the ball for a few minutes.
I thought they'd been moving the ball real well offensively. That's going to be a charge.
Charge against the Ropers. Well, they pulled Lawton out of the zone and went man. As soon as they went man, they just attacked, but a little too much of attack by Nakia Cullum. And that is her first foul.
2:29 still yet to go here in this first half of play. After a 10-point lead, Eisenhower looking to cut it. They've already cut that in half. See if they can cut further into that lead.
Reese again backs up. And a foul on Lawton on the rebound. Just the 15th foul. So still no 1-and-1. 2 minutes to go before the break. 24-19 our score. Rogers in front. Quinay Love dribbling up top. Love all the way to the bucket, off the glass and good. Her first points of the afternoon. And quickly back the other way, Naomi Smith dumps it off in the corner. Shot too strong by Haley Horton. Up against Ginger Reese was Notori Graham at 5'5", giving up 7 inches to Reese. And then we have a foul on Rogers. Looks like it's going to be on Quinay Love. And that'll be her first foul. 15 fouls, so both each team has 5 team fouls.
Well, just 1:24 left to go, Mike, and Lawton Eisenhower led early, trailed by 10, got back to within 5. Big possession here late in the first half.
Hall's shot is off. And here come the Ropers. Brianna Thomas gets it back out top to Quinay Love. She is guarded by Kelviana Sanders. Final minute here in the first half. Love nearly lost it. Baseline jumper in and out from Nakia Cullum. Here comes Ginger Reese. She got it to go. She's got 10. 20 seconds to go in the half. 5-point lead for the Ropers, 26-21. Long three, no good from Love, and that's the way the first half comes to an end. 26-21 the score. Rogers Ropers lead it by 5 over the Lawton Eagles. Pretty entertaining first half. Lawton jumped out to a 5-0 lead, trailed at 16-14 after 1. And then Rogers rattled off the first 8 points of the second quarter to grab a 10-point lead. And Lawton has come back to within 5, and now here's Steve Marshall.
All right, with Coach Carl Adkism, 26-21, 5-point lead. You guys look like you really did a good job handling their zone defense.
Yeah, we did, but we got to get the rebound. We letting them get a lot of second chance points, and we're not blocking out, and it's just leading to some fast breaks, and it's not good for us right now. So we got to get on them boards.
What other than that is going to be your halftime speech to the girls? What's it going to take to come out on top?
poised, staying patient, understanding what they're giving us on offense, and just taking advantage of that.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Back to you, Mike.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve. 26-21 our score. Rogers on top of Lawton. You're watching the Ford Game of the Week on Your View.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month, the place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series and the brand with the most J.D. Power, IQS, and Appeal Awards. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 42 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner. Now during Ford Truck Month, get $22.50 cash back on the 2019 Super Duty. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
My name is Dylan Straup, and I am the general manager of iFly Indoor Skydiving in Oklahoma City. So iFly is a multifaceted company that uses wind tunnels to deliver the dream of flight to all of our customers, while also delivering the sport of body flight. And we also use our wind tunnels to help professional skydivers from all around the world train. We recently partnered with iFly with DreamWorks Universal Studios to bring our customers a video from the How to Train Your Dragon movie. The video gets customers fully immersed in the world of Burke from the movies and also gets you guys up close and personal to a couple of the key characters from the movies. The How to Train Your Dragon virtual reality video is a highly exhilarating one that our instructors take customers through from start to finish. There are a lot of breathtaking descents, sharp turns and maneuvers through and around cliffs, and they make sure that you get up close and personal and even have to maneuver around some of the characters from the movie. The video is fun for all ages, no matter whether you're young, old, or a kid that's seen all the movies and is the biggest fan in the world. iFly is the only place that has the How to Train Your Dragon virtual reality experience.
Coming up this week on Oklahoma Sports Scene, we'll have the head football coach of the University of Tulsa, Philip Montgomery, and the voice of the Golden Hurricane, Bruce Howard. Jay Smith, the former University of Oklahoma football player who has a very interesting story and will tell us about that in his book. And then, of course, we have Henry Primo because it's Mardi Gras week. Right. And then for the coach and the student athlete of the month and a quick excerpt of how the state championships are going to go in basketball, Barry Lewis from the Tulsa World. Join us on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Look forward to having you with us.
It's halftime, 26-21. Rogers on top of Lawton, and it's the SSAA Girls 5A State Basketball, and a great way to get this one tipped off today.
Good first game. Obviously, Lawton Eisenhower got off to the good start. Tulsa Rogers has responded. They have the 5-point advantage right now. You heard Coach Ed Kism talk about what his kids need to do, and we'll visit with Coach Hall here a little later.
It is off to a quick start for Lawton. Haley Horton hits the three from the outside. They got up to an early 5-0 lead, and then Rogers settled down after turning it over on their first couple of possessions.
Yeah, and they were able to get things going and get things moving. There's Reese getting the shot, and then they go inside. Hall was able to add 2 points there for Lawton Eisenhower. But then they started to figure things out offensively, did Tulsa Rogers, and they got the ball inside. A lot of point-blank shots, as you're seeing right there, finishing real strong and getting the necessary points. Reese finally hits another long outside shot as she got things going. She was quiet for a good part of it, but when she gets going, boy, she can score them in a hurry.
She scored the last 7 points for her team in that first half as they trailed by 10, and they have cut the lead to 5. She has 10 here in the first half. Rogers shooting 45% in the first half, Lawton just 30%, so playing in this big arena can make a little bit of a difference. We're going to take a break, more halftime. Coming up on Your View, it's the Ford Game of the Week.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month, the place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series and the brand with the most J.D. Power, IQS, and Appeal Awards. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 42 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner. Get 0 for 72 months with 0 down and 0 payments for 90 days plus $2,500 cash back on F-150. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
For many kids, just showing up to school is a challenge. Staying through graduation is even harder. So at communities and schools, we do just what our name says. Our staff brings a community of resources to meet each student's needs right in their school, doing whatever it takes to keep kids focused, so they see what we see, a bright future. Join in at communitiesandschools.org.
It's about cars, about why we love them, the roads we drive, and the places we go. Driven, from the classics to new tech and toys to more than a couple laps around the track. Driven tells the stories from the road with a few car buying tips and some advice to keep your car on the road and off the rack. Sundays at 5:30 on Your View. Driven, the drive, the adventure.
We're back at the Mabee Center on the campus of Oral Roberts University. Rogers leads it over Eisenhower 26-21. And a back and forth first half. Rogers took the lead midway through the first quarter. They led it by 2 after 1. Built a 10-point lead midway through that second quarter. And now they lead it by 5 as we go through halftime. Steve Marshall is now with the head coach of Eisenhower. Steve.
Coach, down by 5 at halftime, got off to a real good start. What'd you tell your girls at the break?
We just got to calm down a little bit, run through our offense, go inside, come back out, and then let's knock some shots down. I think we'll be fine.
You said you wanted to keep the turnovers, under 15. You guys only turned it over 6 times. That went well. You did a good job on the boards. Just seemed like maybe too many shots from the outside. You maybe need to get it inside more.
Absolutely, 100%. That was what we told the girls. Okay, let's not settle for the first thing that presents itself. Let's run the offense. The more they got to move around on defense, the more tired they'll get. Then we'll start getting some layups and some better shots.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Back to you, Zig.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve. 5-point lead. Second half coming up right here on the Ford Game of the Week on Your View.
If you want a car from a company that's been building them for 115 years, get a Ford. If you want Waze and Amazon Alexa compatibility, get a Ford. If you want a car that doesn't have any of that, get anything but a Ford. Otherwise, you're gonna want a Ford.
Drive a new 2019 Ford Escape, now with $4,500 total savings. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
My name is Dylan Straup, and I am the general manager of iFly Indoor Skydiving in Oklahoma City. So iFly is a multifaceted company that uses wind tunnels to deliver the dream of flight to all of our customers, while also delivering the sport of body flight. And we also use our wind tunnels to help professional skydivers from all around the world train. We recently partnered with iFly with DreamWorks Universal Studios to bring our customers a video from the How to Train Your Dragon movie. The video gets customers fully immersed in the world of Burke from the movies and also gets you guys up close and personal to a couple of the key characters from the movies. The How to Train Your Dragon virtual reality video is a highly exhilarating one that our instructors take customers through from start to finish. There are a lot of breathtaking descents, sharp turns and maneuvers through and around cliffs, and they make sure that you get up close and personal and even have to maneuver around some of the characters from the movie. The video is fun for all ages, no matter whether you're young, old, or a kid that's seen all the movies and is the biggest fan in the world. iFly is the only place that has the How to Train Your Dragon virtual reality experience.
Welcome back to the Mabee Center on this first Thursday in the month of March. High School Madness. Rogers leads Eisenhower 26-21. You're watching the Ford Game of the Week. It's girls 5A state basketball OSSA tournament. Steve, your first half stats, what do you think?
Well, I think as we talk with both coaches there at the intermission, you can see that Lady Eagles are not really getting the shot that they want. 8 of 26 from the floor, not really getting it done there. Field goal percentage in the first half, just 30.8%. On the other hand, Tulsa Rogers, they'll probably take 10 out of 22 all the time. A lot of the problems with the Eisenhower shots were so many of them were from long distance. Just 3 of 12 in three-point field goals. Free throws, kind of call it even. Rebounds, Eisenhower expected to have an advantage there. As I asked the coach, he said he wanted to turn it over 15 times or less. They've only turned it over 6, but yet they find themselves behind on the scoreboard. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they weren't getting the shots that they really need to be looking for.
Yeah, for Lott, 8 of their 18 rebounds coming on the offensive end, so they're hitting the boards on their misses. Other games here today, you see Rogers and Eisenhower, that one going on now. El Reno and Coweta will play at 3:30 this afternoon. Then at 7 o'clock tonight, East Central will host Piedmont. Piedmont, the #1 team in girls 5A, and then after that, Pryor and Ardmore. Ought to be a pretty good night session Really, the Coweta El Reno game out of we got 4 good games going on here today at ORU.
Yeah, tonight you've got numbers 1, 2, 4, and 7 all in that lower half of the bracket. Here we've got number 3 against number 8, and then our next game coming up, El Reno number 10 and Coweta number 6. As of course, as we said, though, all that goes out the window when you start playing, and it's for keeps now.
Should I go get my Powerball tickets? 1, 2, 4, 7.
Yes. You got to break in between games.
Yeah. Second half underway, 26-21, and immediately they work the ball inside to Michaela Hall for an easy bucket. That's what the coach dialed up in the locker room, isn't he?
That's what he wants to see. Took a lot of shots from deep outside, only hit 3 of the 12, so they want to come out and control the boards too.
Kara Jordan's shot too strong to the right. Haley Hort gets it off to Ginger Reese. She's going to take it all the way in. Layup good, and they've scored the first 4 here in the second half. It's a 1-point game.
Kind of like the first half when they went out to a 5-0 lead, only to see Tulsa Rogers respond and score, I think it was 20-9 in a one run that got them up by 6. Right now, just a 1-point ball game.
And now a turnover, 5th turnover of the game for the Lady Ropers. Lawton tried to take the lead. Naomi Smith's shot was no good, and a travel against Eisenhower. I think they had the longest bus ride of anybody here today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another hour west of Oklahoma City.
It's a good 3-hour bus ride, isn't it?
Probably so. It's 2 hours from my house, and it's about an hour exactly from where I live in South Oklahoma City to the outskirts of Lawton.
Kia Cullum looking at her coach, Carlin Adkisson, who's in his 4th year. We talked to Coach Daniel Wall, also in his 4th year at Lawton. He looks fit, man. You know, I read a story about him. He's into that CrossFit with his wife.
I don't have time for that.
Competition, no. I probably need to make time.
Yeah, right.
And on the break, and Reese throws it away, but yeah, you can tell he works out. You take a look at him and stalking the sidelines. There's Coach Adkisson. Played at Booker T. Went to Oklahoma State. Jumper on the right side, no good. Lawton does have 2 state titles in girls history. Now they have the lead in this one. First time they've had the lead back since they were up 9-8 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Coach Adkisson calls a timeout. Lawton does have 2 state titles, Steve, back in '84 and '85. Will Rogers has not picked up a women's basketball championship.
I saw that. That was very interesting. 8 appearances for Lawton Eisenhower, and for Tulsa Rogers, this is their 7th. Lawton Eisenhower 7-5 overall at the state tournament, and Rogers has never even won a game, much less a state tournament. So
0-6 in the state playoffs. 7-5 for Lawton. Rogers does have 4 boys basketball titles. The most recent one, 1988, led by Lee Mayberry.
Okay.
Beat Bartlesville on this court. Of course, Mayberry went on, originally committed to play basketball at TU, ended up at Arkansas, and then had a career in the NBA.
Was he one of the triplets at Arkansas? No?
No. He was not.
Moncrief is who I'm thinking of, and
yep.
Delph, Marvin Delph, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was thinking the other day, because I moved here in '86, all the great high school basketball talent that, you know, I've seen and you guys have seen certainly a lot more. I wasn't here when Dumas played and guys like that.
Baseline jumper is good that time from Nikia Cullum. She's got 6. And taking the lead back is Rogers. Coach Adkisson, good timeout. Good play out of the timeout to take the lead back. 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. And it's Rogers back on top by 1. Yeah, Nolan Richardson third foul on Haley Horton. Nolan Richardson was the head coach at Arkansas. He recruited Lee Maker.
Checking back in for the Lady Rovers number 4,
Tori Graham, correction, I said Horton. She's also got 2 fouls, but Graham picked up her third.
Eisenhower got the ball where they wanted, just couldn't finish as they got it into Hall.
Spin move, a little bit out of control was LaCara Jordan, but she picks up the foul anyway, and she'll go to the line to shoot a pair. LaCara Jordan, 5'7" senior. Missed them both. They've only scored 2 points, rather 4 points in the last 6 minutes of game action. I'm talking about Rogers. And an offensive foul back the other way. That one will be against Hallie Horton. That'll be her second.
Seen a lot of charges. The officials have been consistent, though. I mean, they've called it that way all along. And then it's up to the players to make adjustments and say, hey, if they're going to call it all the time, then I need to back off or not be quite as aggressive. Remember, the guys in the striped shirts, they earn their way to get to the state championship playoffs as well, as they're graded throughout the year like the football officials are, and they assign the best group of officials that they can to get them all on the same page working together as they have throughout the year.
Well, they picked 12 from the east side and 12 referees from the west side to do all these games. And Horton goes down, hurt her knee. She is on the court.
Not a good sign whenever you see anybody grab a knee and she's pounding the floor.
Wow, that'd be a tough loss for Lawton.
Yeah, because she is
more than just her landing on her knee. Yes, I don't know if she heard it before she landed or after.
Kind of seemed like before, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is writhing out there. 1 point ball game with Tulsa Rogers on top. They lead at 28-27.
Don't forget, coming up after this one, about 3:30, Coweta and El Reno will play our second quarterfinal matchup. Stay with us for great playoff action. Tigers and the Indians try to survive and advance. It's the Ford game of the week right here on Your View, Channel 3. And then later tonight, we'll have more games for you. 7 o'clock Piedmont and East Central, and then Pryor and Ardmore to follow that one, 8:30. You want high school hoops? We got it for you right here.
Absolutely.
On Your View.
There's a look at the action that you were just speaking of. That 3:30 contest, if you want to put the seeds behind them, El Reno is seeded number 10, Coweta number 6. And then for the evening session, the 7 o'clock game, Piedmont and East Central. Piedmont seeded number 2. East Central number 7, I should say ranked, going into postseason play. They don't change the rankings throughout the course of the playoffs in the regionals and the areas. They stayed the same as they would have been at the end of the season. And then that 8:30 contest, Ardmore was number 1 and Pryor was number 4. That's according to the OSSAA.
Well, those seedings were made with that first weekend in February.
Right. Yeah, so it's been another.
Team still had 3-4 games left to play, and some things for some teams changed. Some of them got hot.
Yeah.
Near the end of the season, they may have been seeded higher or lower, however you want to look at it, with a higher number, and it makes it tough. They have a tougher road to get to the state. But if you're red hot, anything can happen. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Ford Game of the Week.
It's about cars, about why we love them, the roads we drive, and the places we go. Driven, from the classics to new tech and toys to more than a couple laps around the track. Driven tells the stories from the road with a few car buying tips and some advice to keep your car on the road and off the rack. Sundays at 5:30 on Your View. Driven, the drive, the adventure.
And we're back, and Haley Horton had to be helped as she walks off the court. You see her there.
Not putting much weight at all on that. This was her left leg. It was her right leg, actually. That's a big loss for them in their lineup. Somebody else going to have to pick up the slack if Eisenhower's going to. It's a close game now, just down by 1, but they're going to be able to contend the rest of the way.
Well, the senior guard averaging a little more than 8 points a game. She just had 3, hit the first 3 of the game for Lawton. And they've been shut out since. Looks like Olivia Choney, number 25, a freshman, has stepped in for her at this point. Rogers almost getting trapped in the corner. 2-3 zone. Actually, looks like a moving 3-2 zone for Lawton. Pretty active. 3:32 to go, third quarter. Foul line jumper, no. Offensive rebound off the mark as well, and here comes Lawton. Naomi Smith to Ginger Reese. Thought about the 3, works it right side. In and out for Angelique Clayton. Reese to Hall. Her bucket's good. Timeout for Lawton. And they've taken the lead back.
You know, with Horton out of the lineup right now, obviously it's very important how her substitute plays in her absence, but also how it affects the rest of the team. Sometimes when you see one of your team leaders go down, your ball handler, your spark plug for the team on offense and defense, sometimes that affects everybody else. So after they get over the initial shock that doesn't look like she's going to be coming back here this afternoon, that, hey, we've got to band together and pull this thing out ourselves. The sooner they realize that, the better place that they're going to find themselves in.
Daniel Wall called the timeout after his team took the lead back with 3 minutes to go here in the third. Rick Smith, the referee, inbound, throws it to the Ropers, and they inbound it back down the court. We talked about the rest. You know what I was saying before Horton got hurt, they split them up. They picked 12 referees from the East and the West, and then they try and mix and match. And you just want to make sure you don't have 3 Eastern officials refereeing.
Yeah, because when there's somebody
two
will notice that.
in East and West, you can't mix them up like that. The same thing with 3. You can't have 3 West officials doing that when it's an East versus West. And quickly moving the ball around nicely and getting a bucket inside is Akira Jordan.
Good job again. They get Reese off of her feet defensively. Find Jordan on the baseline. Easy shot, good for 2.
Reese, long 3. Smith with the rebound. Lost it on the court, and we're going to have a jump ball.
It'll stay with Lawton Eisenhower. 1 point ball game. See where we are when we finish this quarter and head to the 4th and final quarter. Coach Daniel Wall, he's in his 4th year. 3rd year as the full-time head coach. He took over during season back a couple years ago and has held that title since.
Reese with the rebound off the missed jumper. She scored the last 7 points of the first half for Lawton to bring them back to within 5. Hall. Her shot partially blocked. And the rebound comes out to Olivia Chenet. And then stole it in midcourt. Quinae Love driving in, and another charge. Every call on the block charge today has been a charge call.
Reese did a good job to get set and get in position right here. Here's the steal in the backcourt. Tulsa Rogers coming back the other way, and then Reese slides over just outside that circle underneath.
And then Lawton turns it over. Not happy as Reese. Now you mentioned that circle that doesn't apply in high school basketball.
Right.
That's only college and pros. So if you're watching at home, don't be fooled and say, hey, her foot might have been in the circle. It doesn't matter at this level.
Right.
And that shot thrown up by Jordan is partially blocked, but she also got hacked on the arm, so she'll go to the line to shoot a pair. Foul is on number 32, Kayla Hall, just her second. Cara Jordan will shoot a pair. In and out, back in again. 1:01 left in the third.
Jordan had just 2 points in the first half, even though she's the team's leading scorer.
Just 14 a game. She's got 5, make it 6. Smith looking for Reese at the foul line. Fadeaway jumper off the mark. Ropers, final 40 seconds here in the third. Up 3. And they go for the last shot. Lawton sitting in that 3-2 zone.
Well, they like where they are. They're up 3. Would like to add to that to head to the final 8 minutes of what they hope will be the first of 3 games this weekend. Watch the girls in the baseline. They've been very important once they start penetrating that zone and then dumping off to either one inside.
Loose ball. That's the way the quarter comes to an end. Ropers lead it by 3. Final 8 minutes coming up in this one from the Mabee Center. 5A Girls State. Rogers and Lawton, it's your Ford game of the week on Your View.
Ford Expedition has more second and third row legroom than Tahoe. More cargo room, better fuel economy, and as J.D. Power calls it, the best large SUV in initial quality and vehicle appeal. Guess you better make room in the garage.
Drive Expedition today with 0% financing for 60 months, plus $2,000 total savings, only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
For many kids, just showing up to school is a challenge. Staying through graduation is even harder. So at communities and schools, we do just what our name says. Our staff brings a community of resources to meet each student's needs right in their school, doing whatever it takes to keep kids focused, so they see what we see, a bright future. Join in at communitiesinschools.org.
Back at the Mabee Center, 32-29 our score. Rogers on top of Lawton. Third quarter scoring 6 for the Ropers, 8 for Lawton. Low scoring third quarter, Steve, but Rogers had a 5-point lead at the break. That's why they lead it by 3 now. And Lawton scores again, makes it a 1-point game for Kayla Hall.
Does enough for Hall. She and Reese with 24 of the 31 points for Eisenhower.
Offensive rebound, missed. Lawton, who lost Haley Horton midway through that third quarter to a knee injury. She's not even on the bench. I think they've taken her back to the locker room. They look pretty serious. Pass through Reese's hands. Love. Rebound and a foul as Devin Wright, who's got 10, is going to go back to the line. Wright averages just 7 a game. She's above her average. Has not scored though here in the second half.
10 points, 7 rebounds through 3 quarters. Trying to work on that double-double. Look at that, Horton's back on the floor. Didn't expect to see her back.
And Wright missed them both. Well, just when I said I thought she went to the locker room, I guess she was over getting ready to check in, because I was scanning the bench.
Was maybe at the table, kneeling down. We missed her. Good pass work.
And another easy bucket for Michaela Hall, who's got a dozen. And she gives her team the lead back. And a steal by Reese. She's going to take it behind her back. Great move, up and in.
How about that?
3-point lead now as they've scored the first 6 here in the fourth quarter.
Nifty move from Reese.
And a miss, and now it looks like Lawton's got some momentum. Winner of this game plays tomorrow morning, 10:30, right here at the Mabee Center against the winner of our next game, El Reno and Coweta. Rogers sitting back in their zone. Reese again.
Coach needs a timeout after that display. An 8-0 run to open up the fourth quarter for Eisenhower, has them up by 5. So he's going to talk to his group, and whether Horton has really added anything statistically, I think just their presence on the floor has certainly helped out.
As I just said, the winner of this one will take on the winner of El Reno Coweta. That game coming up next at 3:30. They'll play at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Then tonight at 7, East Central and #1 ranked Piedmont. And then the nightcap, Ardmore and Pryor at 8:30. Pryor looking to get back to the state championship game for the 2nd straight year. They were in it a season ago and lost to Memorial or Booker T in overtime. Catch all the 5A girls quarterfinal games on the 4th game of the week right here on Your View, Channel 3. The winner of tonight's games will play tomorrow afternoon at 1:30, and Steve Ginger Reese is starting to feel it here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, taking it to the hole right there. Then watch the behind-the-back dribble right at the end of Freer to get in, lay it up off the glass, and good for 2 more. And she has certainly ignited the Eisenhower offense. She's their leading scorer. That's what you would expect. And right now, it's a 5-point advantage for the Lady Eagles.
37-32, they're on top.
I think they're in this tournament and only 1 game over 500 on the season. But you watch them for just a little bit, you can see why.
They lost their last 4 regular season games. Won the regional, beat Guthrie and Altus, lost to Piedmont in the area, then beat Lawton Mac to punch their ticket to state. Great offensive rebound, and then a nice block the other way by Michaela Hall.
2 bigs making a big difference right now, Hall and Reese for Lawton Eisenhower. We go under 5 minutes left to go in the contest. And now Eisenhower pulling it out a little bit. Not really looking for any shot. They have this 5-point lead. See what Coach Wall wants to do.
Rogers fell behind Coweta in the area title game. Or rather, the area game they played in by 16 in the second half. Steve, they had their full court pressure going, and they came back and won that one.
They won the area and went right on to state, forcing Coweta to get a win on Saturday. And then Reese goes in and goes down hard, but she's going to get right back up.
So look inside. Reese once again going strong to the basket. Tried the little scoop, nice block, but got her across the arms. Bangs the elbow on the floor.
Fixes her hair. Misses. Back to the line.
8-0 run to start this fourth quarter. Misses the first free throw, as you can see right there. Coach Wall talking to the rest of the girls about how they need to play the rest of this 4:22 remaining.
So first free throws of the day. She went 1 of 2. Rogers has been stymied a little bit offensively, just 6 points in this second half. They led it 26-21 at the break. So in 12 minutes, they've only scored 6 points. And now Lott gonna really try and slow things down and get an easy bucket. Chone with the long 3, in and out. Just as I said that, they take a deep 3.
I was in total agreement with what you said. I thought they would pull it out. Because what I see watching these two teams, Mike, is Eisenhower knows who their go-to girls are. It's Hall and it's Reese. And I don't really know that you could say that for Tulsa Rogers. They got a lot of great athletes, a lot of good ball players, but I don't know that they have that go-to person that, you know, when they need a bucket, they know exactly where they're going to go. That being said, of course, we'll see how this final 4-17 plays out.
Rogers 0 for 8 here in the fourth. As I mentioned, just 6 points here in the second half. And that ball's tapped out of bounds. Trying to win their first ever game in the history of the school in state. They are 0-6. Reese inside to Hall, no. Smith shot blocked, but a foul. Naomi Smith, sophomore, 5'9". One of 3 players that averages double figures. The other is sophomore Michaela Hall, and then the other one, Ginger Reese.
Eisenhower came into the fourth quarter with a +12 on the rebound advantage edge. That's big, and they've done nothing to hurt that here down the stretch. Free throws. They need to make their free throws, however.
Smith misses the first.
On the day of the 3-point shot, we're only looking at a 2-possession game right now. A free throw would make it a 3-possession game.
And a violation on Smith. She started, caught the ball outside. See a little semicircle?
Yeah.
You have to be in there when you get the basketball. She started outside of it.
All right. Here we go. Fans from both sides now starting to rise up out of their seats here at the Mabee Center, looking for a dramatic finish for their club to move on to tomorrow's semifinals.
And another turnover from Rogers. Well, they've just not had much luck doing anything.
Well, they haven't scored in the fourth quarter, for one thing.
Have not scored here in 5 minutes. Again, just 6 points in 13 minutes of second half action. Now heating up the full court pressure. Reese at midcourt gives it off to Naomi Smith. Drive and score. And a nice bucket for Lawton. Goes to number 15, Kelviana Sanders, her first points of the game.
Big bucket there.
Rogers still stone cold here in the fourth. Is that 0 for 10?
I think so. They led it at the end of 3, 32-29.
0 for 9, now 0 for 10 as they missed that one. And again, the rebound off Lawton.
It's an 11-0 run right now for Eisenhower. And it's starting to get late.
Meanwhile, Steve Ike is 5 out of 6. But there's your difference. 5 buckets in the foul shot. They finally break the scoring drought. And Tori Graham, her first points in the second half. Took them to the 2:17 mark to get something going. Now Lawton. Definitely will try and run clock, see if Rogers turns up the heat defensively.
Both teams still have fouls to give. Possession arrow belongs to Tulsa Rogers.
They force some turnover. Yeah, Lawton just 5 fouls here in the second half. Rogers with 4. Don't forget, coming up in about 15 minutes, Kawita and El Reno.
Horton, who was in the locker room again, just emerges. Coach Paul was looking to put her into the game, but she had not gotten back to the bench yet. And so now they will get her in the contest.
Head coach Carlin Adkisson calls the timeout. They still have 3 left. Lawton has 2 timeouts left. If you're just tuning in, you want to see what happened to this game and how we got to this point, you can watch the replay of today's 5A girls quarterfinals. The afternoon session will start at 7:30 on Monday. The evening session will be Tuesday at 7:30, only on Your View Channel 3. We've got El Reno Coweta coming up next, and then tonight at 7 o'clock, Piedmont and East Central, and then Pryor and Ardmore to follow that one at 8:30. Again, those replays, the afternoon session at 7:30 Monday, the evening session will be Tuesday at 7:30, only on Your View. It's the Ford Game of the Week. Buddy Rod Thompson's going to join us tonight. Looking forward to that. He couldn't make the afternoon sessions because his son Bryce is playing for Booker T. Washington. One of the top teams in Class 6A. #1 seed on this east side. They're over in Catoosa. They've got a 3:30 game this afternoon.
And his son's one of the top recruits, even though he's only a junior, right? Probably in the state, if not part of the region around here.
He's been offered by every state school and many colleges from around the region. Some of it's genetics from his mom.
Tie ball this time will stay with Eisenhower, 1:35 to play.
Those don't know, Rod played basketball at the University of Tulsa.
Begs America is what he always says.
Begs America.
That was quite a high school team that he was on. Had 3 Division I players at what, Class A or B, 2A Beggs?
2 or 3. And a foul on Locke goes against Michaela Hall. That'll only be their 6th, so Rogers still not shooting. 1:21 to go. Rogers still with just 2 points here in the 4th quarter. And it took them nearly 6 minutes to get those 2 points. Rogers looking for a deep 3. And Tori Graham. She drives in off the glass and good. It's a 4-point game. 1 minute and 3 seconds to go.
Tough shot. That angle. Gently kiss it off the glass. Good for 2.
Reese gets it down the court against the press and pulls it back out. Now she's double teamed and out of bounds off Rogers. 49 seconds to go in this one. The 4th point scored here in the 4th quarter as Lawton calls a timeout for Rogers. It's been a tough shooting second half for the Lady Ropers. As you see Coach Carlin Adkisson fired up, trying to figure out some way for his team to come back from this 4-point deficit in the last 48 seconds. Again, the winner of this one plays tomorrow morning at 10:30 right here at ORU against either El Reno or Coweta. All the action here tomorrow starts at 9 a.m. The last game tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Girls 6A action at 9 in the morning, and it ends with boys 6A action. You got 5A girls and boys about every hour and a half in between. Wall-to-wall hoops. That Friday's usually the best Friday of the day or the weekend, because everybody's right here. And a foul out front.
Now it becomes how well can you shoot your free throws?
Just the 15th foul against Rogers. The 5A boys are playing at Skiatook, 6A girls at Memorial, and 6A boys out of Catoosa. And another foul. That may be the 7th. That is the 7th, so Ginger Reese. Nope, that's the 6th. Scoreboard operator is quick. They put it up there right as the whistle was blown. There's the 7 as they get it into Reese, and she'll go to the foul line to shoot a pair.
Big free throws right here in a 4-point contest. Even if she makes both, still 2-possession ball game with 39 seconds remaining.
In and out. Roper's down 4. They need to bring it up quick. Nakia Cullum gives it off to Love and nearly thrown away.
Gut check time now. Who's going to make the big plays down the stretch?
Jordan, foul line jumper, good. Timeout, Rogers are down 2. Nail-biting time for both teams, 25 seconds to go.
Back at the other end, if Reese makes one of those free throws, still a 1-possession game, but if she makes both, it'd be a 2-possession ball game with just 24 seconds remaining. So she's going to get a makeover.
Yeah, she needs a beautician out there. One of the coaches got to help her out.
That's right. Oh man, this is a great way to start it here when you're coming down to the final 30 seconds. Very first game of the day with still 3 more to go.
And if you're Rogers, you got to foul quickly.
Well, I don't, not super quick, but you probably want to do it within the first 6-8 seconds here with 24 remaining. Deny the inbounds pass. Reese, who missed those free throws, came into the 4th quarter, had not attempted any free throws. She has certainly come up big when they have needed her inside in a couple of nice plays. Let's see how they played here.
They inbounded to the senior, trapped in the corner, almost threw it away, and she did off the basket. And that pressure is just what Rogers dialed up.
Tried to go cross court to her teammate and hit the backboard on the side. And it goes out of bounds, and Rogers will now get the basketball with a chance to tie or take the lead, and still a lot of time left, 19 seconds remaining. There have been some crazy endings in the history of high school tournament basketball throughout the years.
Lawton 3 out of 7 from the line today. Rogers 6 out of 12. And as I kind of talked about earlier, Rogers has a knack for doing this. They get in games and they go cold a lot. And they have these issues, and they get behind, and all of a sudden they come back, and they end up winning.
Well,
not to say they're going to do that today, but they're 23-3 for a reason.
Sometimes you have to tweak that recipe a little bit. Can't always go with the same blend every single time. Let's see how this plays out here, as it will be Rogers basketball. 19.5 seconds remaining. 2-point ball game.
Rogers out of timeouts. They inbound it. Love. Clock winding. Shot partially blocked, tipped around. Whistle blown, and the officials looking at each other. And it's going to be Rogers basketball. Hey, take another look at the replay. And we have a final from the boys game. Wow, I don't know right there. It looked like Devin Wright may have stepped out of bounds with the basketball, and then she got rid of it quickly, and it did go off one of the Lawton players, but we're down to 8 seconds. And I think we just got a score update. Boys 5A. I think Memorial has defeated MacArthur 64-60.
You wanted excitement. I don't know if we can bring you much more than this. 8 seconds left. Tulsa Rogers basketball down by 2.
Shot no good. Reese has the rebound. Lawton's going to advance. They win it 40-38. As the Lady Ropers season comes to an end, Lawton survives in advance, and they move on to play at 10:30 tomorrow morning. They'll take on the winner of our next game between El Reno and Coweta. A wild finish. Rogers just 6 points in that third quarter, 6 points in the fourth quarter, and Lawton was just too much. They hit some big shots. Their senior Ginger Reese stepped up and had a big game, and they win it 40-38. Daniel Wall and his team move on, as they are now 8-5 overall in state basketball. And you see them still celebrating on the court. Steve Marshall now with Ginger Reese.
All right, we're standing by here with Ginger Reese, obviously one of the MVPs of the contest. Got close down there towards the end, didn't it?
Yes, sir, it did.
What did Coach tell you guys and to help you come out and win this ball game tonight?
Just stay confident and patient and take care of the ball.
Did a great job inside, outside. Congratulations, you're our player of the game.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach Wall, wow, what a victory. Looked like you had it. Looked like it maybe was getting away from you, but you guys kept your composure and got the victory.
Man, we've been knocking on the door for a couple of years now, so it's really nice to finally get it done. I just want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Give me the opportunity to coach these wonderful girls. They play hard for us, and they're really great kids, and I think they deserve this. They deserve it.
The two bigs in the middle did a great job for you, but you lost one of your players. Horton goes down. She comes back. First of all, what's the prognosis on her? Is she going to be able to go tomorrow?
That's the hope. She dislocates her kneecap every now and again. So I decided, you know what? We're going to have one of these ninth graders step up. We'll get her some ice, and we'll try and get her back for tomorrow.
Well, great job from the coaching aspect, but also the girls to come in and fill in where needed. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. This one's for Lawton. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
There you go, Zig.
All right, thanks a lot. Congratulations to Coach Wall and his Lawton Lady Wolverines. They take it 40-38. We'll take a break, come back and wrap this one up, and get ready for the next one. You're watching the Ford Game of the Week.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month, the place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series and the brand with the most J.D. Power, IQS, and Appeal awards. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 42 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner. Get 0 for 72 months with 0 down and 0 payments for 90 days plus $2,500 cash back on F-150. Only at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
My name is Dylan Straup, and I am the general manager of iFly Indoor Skydiving in Oklahoma City. So iFly is a multifaceted company that uses wind tunnels to deliver the dream of flight to all of our customers, while also delivering the sport of body flight. And we also use our wind tunnels to help professional skydivers from all around the world train. We recently partnered with iFly with DreamWorks Universal Studios to bring our customers a video from the How to Train Your Dragon movie. The video gets customers fully immersed in the world of Burke from the movies and also gets you guys up close and personal to a couple of the key characters from the movies. The How to Train Your Dragon virtual reality video is a highly exhilarating one that our instructors take customers through from start to finish. There are a lot of breathtaking descents, sharp turns and maneuvers through and around cliffs, and they make sure that you get up close and personal and even have to maneuver around some of the characters from the movie. The video is fun for all ages, no matter whether you're young, old, or a kid that's seen all the movies and is the biggest fan in the world. iFly is the only place that has the How to Train Your Dragon virtual reality experience.
It's about cars, about why we love them, the roads we drive, and the places we go. Driven, from the classics to new tech and toys to more than a couple laps around the track. Driven tells the stories from the road with a few car buying tips and some advice to keep your car on the road and off the rack. Sundays at 5:30 on Your View. Driven, the drive, the adventure.
Eisenhower advances with a 40-38 win over Rogers. Strength of their shooting and offensive rebounding, Steve, and then Rogers shooting just 21% in the second half. 13 offensive rebounds for Lawton, a big difference in this one.
They certainly knew they had that advantage coming in, and they used that very well. Hall and also Reese did a real good job on the boards there. And then for Horton to go out of the lineup, as Coach told us, dislocates her kneecap every so often. Ouch, that doesn't sound like it would be much fun, especially if you're trying to be a basketball player. But the girls rose up and they did what they needed to down the end and come out with the victory.
And look at the stats. You see the big numbers that stick out. The 2 sixes for Rogers in the third and fourth quarter. They really struggled scoring, but the rest of the stats pretty much even up and down the board. Yeah, they really are. Turnovers, as Coach Hall pointed out, they wanted to keep their turnovers under 15. They turned it over 16 times, but still good enough to get the victory and advance and move on to play tomorrow. Excuse me, this game was tied just one time. There was 8 lead changes. The biggest lead was 10 in the first half, which Rogers had. And then after that, it was pretty much all Lawton because Rogers struggled scoring in half number 2. Yeah, they really did. As you pointed out, just scored 12 points in that second half. And then you get your player of the game, and Ginger Reese she was able to get it done. Early she took a lot of shots. They were not falling, but she was able to get some things started. And then, of course, came up big there in the third quarter. You'll watch her here, top of the key, knocking down the shot. That kind of loosened her up and got her going. Offensive boards crashing there, turning, spinning, using the glass and getting the 2-point bucket there to her advantage. And then this was a big play here, I thought, that really kind of opened things up. She started to feel her mojo right there and takes it length of the floor, goes behind the back, lays it up off the glass and good for 2. And she was your player of the game and well-deserving, but also a great performance by Lawton Eisenhower. Improves their record to only 15-13 to make it to the semifinals. Tulsa Rogers ends the season 21-4. Yeah, they kind of went on a downhill slide. After the seedings were set late in the season, they lost 5 of their next 8 basketball games. Now they've turned it back around again, and they're 2 wins away from taking state. 1-0 in postseason play. How about that? Yep. Well, we've got another game coming up for you.